you will be very, very pleased to hear that because it is so hot, I've got quite a gentle, stretchy, lovely class for you this evening. Ah, heart shapes already. We like this a lot. So we are going to start in a comfortable seat, whatever that is for you, whether it's cross-legged, or if you want to be on your knees, which is my preferred comfortable seat, or if you put one foot in front of the other or legs out straight, it's entirely up to you. So in our comfortable seat, we're just going to put a hand on our chest and a hand on the belly and gently close the eyes and just check in with the breath. Just notice how you're breathing this evening. Notice where the breath moves the body, if it's in the chest, the belly, or a mix of the both. Notice if you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth, or maybe a mixture of the two. And just take a moment to check in with how you're feeling today. Just making a mental note. Just noticing how you feel, if there's any tight spots, how well you're breathing. Just having that moment to yourself. And gently start to deepen the breath. So as you're inhaling, really focus on inhaling all the way down into the belly. Really expanding as we inhale. And then as you exhale, let everything soften and relax. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest, expanding. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly, softening. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest, expanding. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly, softening. Inhale, belly, ribs, chest, expanding. Exhale, chest, ribs, belly, softening. Excellent. And just let the breath come back to normal. Take the hands back into your lap, wherever they're comfortable, maybe on your knees. And just focus at the moment on the neck. So just notice how your neck feels this evening, whether there's any tight spots, whether it's tired from carrying your head around all day. And keeping the shoulders nice and neutral and relaxed, just take the left ear towards the left shoulder. Just take a few breaths with our head over to one side. If you want more of a stretch, then take the left hand over the top of the head and just gently apply a bit of pressure. And if you want even more, you can take the other arm out to the side and really extend through the fingertips whilst really relaxing that right shoulder down. Excellent. Release the hand off the top of the head. Bring the hands back to the lap and gently bring the head back up to center. Maybe roll the shoulders back a couple of times. Have a little check-in with how one side of the neck feels compared to the other. And then gently take the right ear towards the right shoulder. Really sending the breath into those stretched neck muscles. And then bring the hand on top of the head if you want more stretch. And if you want to increase it further, take the left hand away, really extend through the fingertips. Just a couple of breaths here. Excellent. Bring the hands back to the lap and then bring the head back up to center. So the next one, we're going to interlace the fingertips and take them behind the head so that the curve of the back of your skull is in the curve of your palms. Take the chin down towards the chest and then press the head up into the hands. And just take a couple of breaths there. And gently release the hands, bring the head up to center. This time we'll take the hands behind us. So taking the hands, the elbows can be bent, it doesn't matter. But trying to reach those hands away from us, opening up the chest, and then gently taking our eyes up towards the ceiling. So we're really opening up through the chest and the shoulders, really extending the neck, but looking up gently. And have a couple of breaths there. And then bring the head back up to center, release the hands, come out of your comfy seat and into tabletop. So knees underneath the hips, hands slightly in front of the shoulders, just so that the wrists aren't too flexed. And we'll do a few rounds of cat-cow. So as you're inhaling, take the belly down towards the floor, sit bones go up towards the ceiling, press the ground away, look up. And as you exhale, curl the tailbone under, really arch through the spine. Drop the head, pull the tummy in. Inhale as you come down, really trying to move every single bone of the spine. And then exhale as we come up. Really pulling the belly in, really arching through that back. Inhale as we come down. And then exhale as we go up. Really pulling that belly in, really reaching the middle of the spine up towards the ceiling. Inhale as we come down. Keep pressing the ground away. Keep the shoulders active. And then exhale as you go up. Really pulling the tummy in, stretching through the back. And then come back to neutral. Taking the right leg out behind us. We'll cross it over the left leg and drop the toes down towards the floor. Then look around towards those toes. So you have a really long stretch down the right side of the body. Just take a few breaths here. And coming back to center, take the leg back out behind you and bring the knee back down to the mat. And take the other leg out. Really stretching through the toes, then cross it over the right leg and put the toes down on the floor. Looking around towards the toes, feel a long stretch on the left-hand side of the body, this side. And on the next inhale, bring the head back to center, lift up the leg and bring the knee back to the mat. Then take the knees slightly wider with the toes still together. Sit the hips back on the heels and stretch out through the fingers, coming into child's pose. So head coming down towards the mat. If this is too much, you can always put a cushion in between the calves and the thighs, or you can put a cushion under the knees. And just take a few deep breaths here. And keeping the sit bones, really reaching towards the heels, walk the fingertips over towards the right, and then relax back down again, stretching into the left armpit. Couple of breaths here. And then walking the hands back through center, over to the left, and then relax back down to have a stretch into the other armpit. Really reach through the fingers of the right hand and really stretch that armpit down towards the floor. One more breath here. And walk the fingers back to center. Come up through tabletop. Realign the knees so that they're underneath the hips once more. And then come down onto the elbows, stretching the chest towards the floor. Keeping the hips above the knees. If it's in your practice and you can go a little deeper, gradually walk the hands forwards until the chest can melt into the mat. Either coming onto your forehead or you can come onto your chin. Really focusing on arching through that upper spine. Keep breathing. And then taking the weight into your hands, walk the elbows back in again and come back up to tabletop. Stretch that right leg out behind you and then bring it around the side. You might need to give it a bit of a wiggle to get it up towards the top of the mat. Keeping the left hand on the ground. Inhale as you really reach up through the right hand. So coming into a nice open twist. Really trying to lengthen the spine on each inhale. And really trying to extend the twist on the exhale. One more breath here. Then bring the hands to the knees. Looking down towards the mat, drop the hips forwards and then wing the knee out to the side so we get a nice stretch on the inner thigh. Couple of breaths here. Good, then let that one go. Bring the hands back to the mat. Go all the way back, leaving the foot out the front, sit the hips back on the heel. So we're coming into one leg long and the other leg's bent. And then just gently tease the chest towards the knees, keeping the back long. So we don't want to arch through the back. We really want to try and stretch the chest forwards, which should then stretch out down the back of the hamstring. I have a bumblebee that's come to say hello. A couple more breaths here, really stretching that chest forward, keeping that neck long. And then floating yourself up so the spine is upright. Curl the right leg around and then take the left leg out in front. Using the hands for support, keep the back nice and long and then tease that chest towards the knee. So we're getting a stretch on the other side. One more breath here. And then come all the way forward. So you come onto the foot, the left foot at the front. Bring the right hand down to the mat. And then inhale as you come up and stretch into a twist. Inhaling to really lengthen the spine. Exhale, see if you can twist a bit more. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, twist. Then bring that top hand to the knee. Bring the hips forwards and then wing the knee out to the side, getting that stretch down the inner thigh. Noticing how it might feel different on one side to the other. One more breath here. Then bring the knee back to center. Take the hands to frame the front foot. Tuck the back toe and lift the back knee. From here, we'll keep the right hand really grounded. Inhale up through the left arm into a twisted lunge. Couple of breaths here. Then on your next exhale, take the hand back down to frame the front foot. Take a bend in the back knee and step it forward so that we're in a forward fold. Inhale into a halfway lift. Really extending out through the back, really long neck. And then exhale, fold, really allowing your upper body to lay on your thighs. Let the head hang. Maybe nod the head a few times. Maybe shake the head a few times. Really breathe and send that breath deep into the belly, opening up the lower back. And then grounding down through the hands. Step the left leg back into high lunge, keeping the left hand on the floor. Open up through the right hand onto a twisted lunge on the other side. Still lengthening on the inhale and twisting on the exhale. Reaching up as much as we're reaching down. One more breath here. And then on the exhale, bring the hand back to frame the front foot. Take a bend in the back leg and then step it forwards to meet the other leg. Exhale, forward fold, bending the knees, letting the upper body hang on the thighs. Couple more breaths here. And then gradually roll the spine all the way up to the top. Bone by bone by bone, with the head coming up last. Roll the shoulders back and down the spine so they're nice and relaxed. Let the palms face forwards. Really find your alignment in this pose before we move anywhere. Really keeping the feet grounded, keeping the weight even between the balls of the feet and the heels. Inhale the arms up above the head. Exhale the hands through heart center. Inhale the arms up above the head. Exhale hands through heart center. Inhale arms up. Exhale, hands through your heart center. Beautiful. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bend the knees a lot and fold all the way forwards. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward, bending those knees a lot. Take the left leg back, not as far as normal, a slightly smaller step. Grounding down through the back heel if you can, and lifting the front toes. So you get a stretch down the back of the front leg. You can always hold on to something close to you if you can't reach the floor here. And you can also bend the back knee so that you can get closer to the floor. As long as the front leg is straight and the foot is flexed, you should still feel the stretch. If you need to extend the stretch, really reach the chest forwards, trying to reach the chest past your knees so the back is long. Excellent. Then coming back onto the front foot, taking the weight in the front foot, stepping the back leg back a bit further so that you're at your maximum lunge. Come up onto your knee, so the hands are coming onto the knee, and we're sinking the hips down to get a stretch through the hip flexor on the left side. Really pulling the inner thighs towards one another and really lengthening that back leg. So if it's bent, just try and tease it straight, encouraging the heel towards the floor so the leg is really long. One more breath here. Then dropping the back knee. If it's more comfortable to you, you can untuck the toes, but I've got knobbly knees, so I prefer my toes tucked. Inhale the arms up above your head. And then exhale, twist around towards the right with the front hand coming across your knee. Good. Then inhale up through center. Exhale, twist to the left with the front hand coming inside the knee. Inhale up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale up. Exhale, twist to the left. Inhale up. Exhale, twist right. Inhale up. Exhale, twist left. Beautiful. Inhale up. Exhale, hands come to frame the front foot. Take the back knee up off the floor and then step back to plank. So we can either bring the knees and the chest and the chin to the floor, or you can do chaturanga if you prefer, and then come through into cobra or up dog. Really stretching the chest forwards. Exhale down to the mat. Taking the hips back towards the heels into a moment's child's pose. And then carrying that movement on up into downward dog. And just have a bit of a walk in your dog. Bending one knee, taking the opposite heel to the floor, and then moving to the other side. Just lengthening out down the back of the legs, nice and gently. Again, if you've got tension in the neck, you can nod and shake your head here. Or if you're tight in the upper back, encourage your chest towards the thighs. Really trying to open up those areas that are tight or tense. And then looking forwards, float the left leg up behind you and bring it forwards and place it between the hands, giving it a little helping hand if it needs. So we're coming into our lunge on the other side. Inhale the arms up into lunge. And then as we exhale, pull the core in and take a little step, so our step is a lot shorter. Both feet want to be facing the front of the mat, and we want them kind of on train tracks, so we're not on a tightrope. We've got a bit of space between our feet. We take a little Charlie's Angel gun with our hands. So cross the thumbs over, index fingers pointing away, rest of the fingers curled around. Take a nice big inhale, and then this time really curve through the back, trying to get your chin and your back to curve until you can see your belly button. And then keep going all the way down as far as you can go, seeing if you can get your Charlie's Angel gum somewhere near to your big toe. Trying to keep the hips facing forwards, and really arching through that spine. Then bend to the front knee, keeping the hips level. See if you can get your head anywhere close to your knee. Good. Really arching through that spine. We're really trying to see that belly button. And then take the hands to the mat, bend both legs, step forward into your forward fold. Inhale into your halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Bend the knees a lot and inhale all the way up to the top. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Good. Flowing into the other side this time. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, forward fold, bending the knees a lot. Inhale, halfway lift, long back, long neck. And then exhale, fold, getting that upper body onto those thighs. Take the right foot back. Keeping the right hand down. First of all, inhale up into our twist. Exhale, bring the hand back down. Take a slightly smaller step so we can ground down through the back heel. Bend the knee if you need to. And then flex that front foot up off the mat. So the toes are coming towards the knees. If you need to come up onto the fingertips, then do. If you need to bend the back leg, then do. Really flexing that foot for the stretch and really taking the chest towards the knee. So the back is long. Couple of breaths here. And then bringing the weight forward into the front leg. Take the toes back down onto the mat, step the back leg back. Coming into our lunge. So step the hands up onto the left knee, sinking down through the hips, and then inhale the arms up above our heads if you want to take that option. Otherwise, you can keep the hands on your knee. Really stretching into that right hip flexor, extending out through the back heel. Dropping the hips if you can. Couple of breaths here. If you have your hands up, next inhale, stretch through the fingertips. Exhale, bring the hands back down to the mat to frame the front foot. And everybody take the knee down onto the mat. Inhaling the arms up above the head. Exhale, twist to the left with the front arm coming across the knee. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist right with the hand coming in front of the knee. Good. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist right. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist left. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, twist to the right. Inhale, arms up. Exhale, bring the hands to frame the front foot. Lift the back knee and step that front foot back to plank. Do chaturanga of your choice, either knees, chest, chin, or come down to chaturanga, into cobra or up dog. Really stretching that chest forward. Exhale back down to the mat and push up and back into child's pose. Have 2 breaths in child's pose. Then lifting up out of your child pose into tabletop, tuck the toes and push up to downward facing dog. Stepping through the heels or stretching out wherever you need to stretch in your downward dog. Then float the right leg up behind you. As you exhale, bring it forwards in between the hands and step the back leg in slightly so that you can have both feet facing forwards. Inhale the arms up, legs are nice and straight for this one. Both toes pointing the front of the mat. Keeping the hips facing forwards. Inhale the arms up and find your little Chinese angel gun. And then round through the upper back, chin coming down towards the chest. And really trying to see your own belly button. Keeping that rounding in the chest. Then come down as far as you can with straight legs. Aiming that Charlie's angel gun towards your big toe. Really rounding through that upper back. Keeping sight of that belly button. If you can bend the front knee and get it somewhere near your forehead, brilliant. If not, doesn't matter. Just concentrate on that rounding through the upper spine. One more breath here. And releasing the head, take the hands back to the mat and step forward into your forward fold. Really, really big bend in the knees. Maybe doing a sway from side to side. Maybe nodding or shaking the head. Just enjoy the head being below the heart. Inhale into a halfway lift. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale all the way up to the top, rolling that spine all the way up. Hands up towards the sky. Then exhale, hands back through heart center. Inhale up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Inhale up. Exhale, hands through heart center. Good. So we'll just do a balance, which is also a back bend this evening. It's not one we've done for a while. So there's lots and lots of different stages. So take a stage that suits your practice and be kind to yourself. If your body is saying stop, then stop there. We'll start on the right hand side. So take your right hand towards the back of your mat with the palm facing outwards. Really ground down through the feet, find a point of focus, and keeping your shoulders as upright as possible. Bend the right leg up and hold the foot from the inside of the arch. Excellent. You can use your other hand for balance, so your other hand can be out to the side rather than being straight on you. You can have it out for balance. To start with, the first exercise is just to kick that toe back away from you. So you've just got the start of a little back bend going on in the spine. So knees stay in line, but it goes straight back. If you're comfortable there and you want to go a little further, inhale the left arm up above your head. And once you've kicked back, you then start to kick up slightly, but still keeping your shoulders up. You want to get the maximum kick that you can achieve before you move anywhere. And then keeping a point of focus somewhere. Once you've got that maximum kick, then you can start to lean forwards Really pressing down through the standing leg, really keeping that leg engaged, reaching forwards as much as you're reaching back. If you fall out, that's absolutely okay. Just come back to where you were and have another go. Really trying to get the shoulders in line so that they are like they're squished between a pane of glass. Reaching the left shoulder forward, reaching the right shoulder back, kicking up, stretching forward, coming down as far as you can, and then kicking to get back out again. Good. Then we'll go round to the other side. You can always just stop at the first bit. So obviously just be kind to yourselves this evening. I can't come around and help you all like I would normally. So take the left arm back this side, palm facing out. Bend the left leg up and hold on from the inside of the ankle. So inside of the arch of the foot, sorry. So your fingers are over the top of the foot, hand on the inside of the arch. Find your balance to start with. Making sure that the knees are level, keeping the shoulders above the hips. Notice that one side is going to be more balanced than the other. First of all, just kick back. Not doing anything more than that, just taking the leg from neutral to kicking back. If you want to go further, take the right arm up above the head, really reaching up through that right fingertips, and then kick back a bit more, maybe kicking up. So finding your maximum back bend before you move any further. Really grounding down through the standing leg. Engage the muscles of the right thigh. Once you've found your maximum kick, slowly start to move the body down, reaching forwards as much as you're kicking back. And then kick to come back out. Beautiful, some great poses there. So have a little shake out of your hands, have a little shake out of the legs, have a little wiggle wherever you need a little wiggle. Excellent. And then we're going to do some floor work. So we can come down to the floor in whichever way you see fit. You can simply sit down on the floor, or if you want to go down through Malasana, bring the hips right down towards the heels, elbows on the inside of the knees. And then sink the bottom down and come all the way down. So I'll show you the first exercise. So we keep our back on the ground, palms face down for this one, and we take our feet so that our shins are parallel to the ceiling. And then from here, we keep the leg in the same shape as much as possible, really pull the core in tight, and slowly take the leg down towards the floor, tapping the toes, and then bringing them back up. Then we'll do the left leg, and then we'll do both legs, keeping the shape of the leg. So inhale to prepare. Make sure the lower back is comfortable on the mat. I've got a little zip sticking in me. So make sure that the back is really, really comfortable. And take a nice big inhale, really pulling the core in, pressing that lower back into the mat. Then slowly take the right leg down. Keeping the squared leg. If you can tap the toes, great. If not, just go as far as you can. And then slowly bring the leg back up. Pull the core in again, making sure that lower back is pressed into the mat. Take the left toe down as far as you can, whilst keeping the lower back really safe, keeping that lower back pressed into the mat. And then bring that toe back up again. Maybe hug the knees in here. Do a couple of circles into the hips with the right hand on right knee, left hand on left knee. And then take them the other way. Take the legs back up to tabletop. And then really pull that core in, pressing that lower back into the mat. Take both toes down towards the floor. And then bring them back up. Really good stuff. Have a little rest. Maybe roll the hips if that's what you want to do, or if you feel like you want to stretch out, then have a little stretch out. And then let's do another round. So pressing the palms into the ground, bring the feet up to tabletop, really pull that core in, press the back into the mat, take the right toes down towards the floor, and then squeeze them back up again. Squeeze that lower back into the mat again, take the left leg down. Really keeping those tummy muscles tight, and then bring it back up. Realign yourself, really pull that belly in, nice big inhale, and then exhale, both feet down towards the mat, and then squeeze it back in again. Excellent, hug the knees into the tummy, circle through the hips, and then take those circles in the other direction. And take the left leg out long, keeping the right knee in towards the chest. Interlace the fingers over the shin. Pull the knee in towards your right armpit, keeping your head on the mat, keeping your shoulders on the mat. Flex through the left leg, keep the right toe relaxed. Really pull that knee in, really give it a tug, squeezing the shoulder blades together behind you, cutting off the circulation in the right hip. Really massaging the ascending colon, and then exhale, release that leg down. Inhale the left leg up, interlace the fingers over the shin, flex through the right leg, engage the right leg, left foot is really relaxed, and then pull that knee in towards the left shoulder, using the strength of your arm muscles, squeezing the shoulder blades behind you. Cutting off the circulation in the left hip, massaging through the descending colon. Really engage that right leg once again. One more squeeze, and then exhale, release that leg down. Then hug both knees in. Sit up and interlace your fingers or hold onto your wrists or maybe your forearms, wherever you can get to. Really curl yourself into a tight ball, and then release the head and the shoulders back down onto the mat. And then really squeeze the knees in, trying to lengthen the spine back down onto the mat. Really squeezing, using your arm muscles, squeezing the shoulder blades towards each other behind your back. Really squeeze, massaging the transverse colon on this one. And then exhale, release all that new blood flow into the legs. Arms down by your sides. And step the feet up onto the mat. We'll do a few bridges with moving with the arms. So inhaling as we lift the tailbone up off the floor, and then lift the back bone by bone as we lift the arms up above the head. Really squeeze at the top. And then exhale, roll everything back down onto the mat, bone by bone by bone. Tailbone last. Inhale as we go up. Really stretching those hips up towards the ceiling, squeezing the glutes, and then exhale as we come down. Inhale as we go up. And then exhale as we come down. And this time, leave the hands by the sides. Inhale, curl the tailbone under, lift the back up off the ground, bone by bone by bone by bone. And when we get to the top, really squeeze the bum muscles together, squeeze the inner thighs towards one another. Really lift the hips up, see if you can go a bit higher. And if it's in your practice and you can do the bind, then bring the hands together and roll into the outside edges of the upper arms. Really extending those hips up, squeezing those muscles. Keep breathing. 2 more breaths here. Can you lift any higher? And then release those hands if you're in the bind and untuck the shoulders. And then everybody together, gently, bone by bone, roll the spine back down onto the mat. Taking the feet as wide as the yoga mat, moving the arms out the way. Just gently windscreen wiper the knees into the middle of the mat. One knee coming over, and then the other knee coming over. Excellent. Just resetting the spine a little bit after a big back bend before we do a forward bend. So this time I'm going to give you a choice. You can either take the feet up towards the ceiling, bending the knees in towards the armpits and reach for the feet and come into happy baby. So we're really rounding through the spine here. Or if you would rather do something different, then take the feet up towards the ceiling in shoulders down, and then take them down into plow pose. So for both instances, we're really trying to get a bit of rounding into the lower back. Equally, if you want something a bit more restorative, then you can just do child's pose. Whichever pose you choose, think about rounding into that lower spine. Think about extending all of those lovely spaces between the vertebrae. Just take a few breaths here. And if you're in happy baby, release the legs and stretch yourself out long. If you're in plow, then gently roll the back down onto the mat. And take the legs out long. Making yourself really long on your mat, arms up above your head, legs out long. Walk the feet over to the left. And then scuffle the shoulders over to the left as well, so that you look like a big banana. Keep both of your bum muscles down on the mat, making sure the hips are level, and feel a nice long stretch through the whole right side of the body. Reaching up through the fingertips if you need a bit more of a stretch. You can go deeper with your shuffling or less deep, depending on how that feels in your body. And if you want more of a stretch down the IT band, you can cross the right foot over the left foot. And just take a few breaths in banana pose. Then gradually bring yourself back to center, shuffling the shoulders back, shuffling the feet back, and lining yourself straight on the mat. And then shuffle your feet over towards the right, and shuffle your shoulders over towards the right, stretching out through the fingers of the left hand to increase the stretch, keeping both bum muscles down on the floor so that the hips are level. And if you need more stretch, you can always stretch the left leg over the top of the right leg, so the feet are crossed. And have a few breaths in this pose on this side. And when you're ready to come out of this pose, take the shoulders back to center, shuffle the feet back to center. Take the arms straight out from the shoulders, and we'll do a twist on each side. So if there is a twist in your practice that you are itching to do, then feel free to do that. Otherwise, lift the hips, bring the feet to the mat first, lift the hips up and scoot them over to the right and place them back down on the mat. Then hug the knees into the chest and roll the knees over to the left, looking out over the right shoulder. Just allowing the breath to come and go as it pleases. We're trying to relax everything onto the mat on each exhale. Really allowing any last bits of tension to go. If there's anywhere in your body where you're holding your muscles, on each exhale, just let that go. And when you're ready, bring the head back to center. On the exhale, really pull the core in and roll the hips back down onto the mat. Place the feet down and straighten yourself up, ready for the other side. And again, if there's a twist that you wanted to do, that you've been itching to do, then feel free to do that. Otherwise, lift the hips up off the mat, scoot them over to the left this time, and then pop them back down. Hug the knees into the chest, and then roll the knees over towards the right, looking out over the left shoulder. And then completely relax everything in this pose. Sending the breath to anywhere where you're holding tension. And on each exhale, completely relaxing. Your next inhale, bringing the head back to center. On the exhale, pulling the core in and rolling the hips back down onto the mat. Then putting the feet down, straightening yourself up. Bring the arms down by the sides. Take the feet out long and completely relax into Savasana. Any issues in the lower back, then you can bring your feet to the mat. Let the knees roll in, or you can bring the soles of the feet together and let the knees roll out, whatever is most comfortable. Make sure the lower back is comfy on the mat, and make sure the shoulders are tucked underneath the torso, so there's no tension in the body, you're completely relaxed. And we will take our awareness around each of our body parts, starting with the right hand. Take your awareness to the right thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, right shoulder, armpit, right side of the waist, hip, glute, right thigh, back of the thigh, right kneecap, behind the kneecap, shin bone, calf, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Then take your awareness to the left hand thumb, index finger, middle finger, ring finger, little finger, palm of the hand, back of the hand, wrist, forearm, elbow, upper arm, left shoulder, armpit, left side of the waist, hip, glute, thigh, back of the thigh, left kneecap, behind the kneecap, shin, calf, ankle, heel, sole of the foot, top of the foot, right big toe, second toe, third toe, fourth toe, fifth toe. Now feel both your feet, the soles of the feet, the heels, the Achilles tendons, the calves, backs of the knee, backs of the thighs, the glutes, your coccyx bone laid on the mat, your lower back, middle back, upper back, right shoulder, left shoulder, neck, back of the head, crown of the head. Then take your awareness up the front of the body, the toes, tops of the feet, shin bones, kneecaps, thighs, groin, hips, lower belly, belly button, upper belly, diaphragm, ribs, chest muscles, collarbones, throat, chin, jaw, lips, cheeks, ears, eyes, eyebrows, forehead, crown of the head. Your whole body totally aware and completely relaxed. Gradually bringing your awareness back to the body, wiggling the fingers and wiggling the toes, maybe rolling the head from one side to the other side, maybe circling the wrists or the ankles. Move in whatever way your body wants to move this evening. whether that's a stretch or a twist, or if you want to hug your knees in. And when you are ready, roll over onto your side and then gradually come up to seated. And we'll finish with 3 deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. If you want to do lion's breath, feel free to do lion's breath. Really stretching the chest forward and sticking the tongue out. It's up to you. So, everyone together. 3 inhales. Excellent. Thank you for coming to practice with me this evening in this heat. I hope that you feel a bit more stretched out than you did when we started. I hope to see you again soon.